Well, shit. It's been a hot second since I've touched this. Quick recap in case you missed it, because I don't think I ever actually posted like a long form video of what has happened to this car, but I post a short, which maybe I will just play that like right now. I was on a test drive with this past fall. I think it was like October, November, and everything was going really well. I'd ironed out some kinks. I'd gotten my clutch to stop rattling around. Things were going swimmingly. And then I had like some oil cooler line leaks that were concerning. But I replaced the fitting on the one end, and I was like, surely that's good. And then I took it for a fat test drive to kind of see like, does it get hot? What do the temps do? Those kind of things, like a thorough shakeout before going to a dyno and having it blow up on their dyno. And my oil cooler hose failed, and I ran out of oil pressure, and I wasn't paying attention because I also happened to be filming while I ran out of oil pressure. And so I just ran my brand new engine out of oil in the fall. And there was nothing really to do about it. I mean, it actually does still run and make boost and do all that, but it's just a freight engine. Like, the amount of exhaust coming out of the breather is unacceptable. I would assume, aside from damaging like literally every rotating part of the engine very slightly, that the primary thing that experienced heavy damage was the piston rings to cylinder walls, and I would assume the cylinder walls look like total dog shit. But what is interesting is after that initial seizure on the highway, which mind you I was doing like 70 at like 20 psi, so imagine the amount of forces needed to seize it while it's doing that. I brought it home and I primed it with oil and I started it, and it ran fine aside from shitloads of blow by, but I don't want an engine with shitloads of blow by. That's not the point. That's not why I took all that time to build it. So after being kind of a funk about it for a few months, and also just not having any money to spend on it, I just did my tax return, and so I think I have enough budget to pull the engine back out, and probably new pistons, different block, or remachining this one. And that's kind of what we're trying to do today, or what I'm trying to do today, is pull this engine back out, even though I just put it in here. Which, to be fair, the first time putting it in here was a lot of figuring out like routing, where things go, how things sit. And so this time around, I'm just ripping it out and putting it back in and touching up a few things along the way, so it should go faster. And again, this is really a tear down and thorough inspection of what might have been damaged from having no oil pressure. Alright, engine is pulled. That's pretty easy. I didn't have to take well, they would still be on. So I started at probably 12:30 and it's now 3:12, so that was 2 hours and 15 minutes, is that right? No, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Pretty good. Yeah, right off the rip, head needs to come off. So, you can see how the cylinders look. And we're just gonna keep tearing it down. Okay, so super interesting. Two of the cylinders are totally fine. Fine, you know? Like that one's good. This one is fucked. And you can even see this piston is really oily, whereas these are dry. So this cylinder is cooked. And then if I rotate it, you can see cylinder 2 also got kind of smoke, but not as bad as 4. And 3 got just the teeniest bit. But yeah, I mean they're all kind of smoked. Damn, so I mean kind of what I expected. Also just super interesting. It's curious that cylinder 1 is like totally fine. That's super funny. But I would imagine it probably comes down to like ring tolerances. Like I bet you cylinder 1 either had better oiling for whatever reason, or it had slightly looser ring tolerances, and cylinder 4 probably had the worst oiling and or the worst ring tolerances. And I just don't think I don't think this is something you just throw a dingle ball hone down, unfortunately. Okay, so to wrap up a thought currently, because this is fully torn down. I have the crankshaft out of it. Everything is off. I've looked at almost everything. I still need to look at the camshaft and see how it looks. But a couple of the pistons are ruined, obviously. Just gonna need some new pistons. So day 2 of tearing down the TDI and kind of figuring out what I actually need to replace and buy and whatnot to get us back to 100%. And the next step for me is to figure out if the block is fully damaged or not in terms of the cylinders. Everything else actually has looked really good so far. The pistons are totally fucked and the block looks bad, but I have a feeling it might be worse than it is. So we're gonna kind of do some high school chemistry this morning, if you will. This is 100% lye, which is sodium hydroxide. It's a caustic crystal, and I'm gonna mix it with some water. So like a couple tablespoons of lye, a little bit of water, spray bottle. And where I'm going with this is the cylinder walls right now are smeared with cold welded aluminum because the pistons rubbed against them and smeared piston all over my steel cylinder wall. So I have no idea how damaged the wall is because it's covered in aluminum and it's like on there. So the thing we're going to do is use chemistry to remove the aluminum. Sodium hydroxide reacts with aluminum and will remove it while not really interacting with the steel at all. So we're going to spray sodium hydroxide on. It's going to react with the aluminum. Going to hit it with Scotch-Brite, and then going to clean this off. And hopefully that takes the aluminum off, at which point we'll be able to see what it looks like without the aluminum. Okie dokie. So lye isn't really something you want to fool around with because it is actually pretty strong. thus gloves, big gloves. And you don't want to get it on things that you don't want to get it on either, if that makes sense. I might just do this outside because I don't have a spoon. Okay, and then it says not to dilute with water, which is what we're gonna do. Already I fucked this up. So like a couple, like maybe 2 tablespoons in there. We're just gonna see how it works. I have no idea. I've never done this before. So my guess is like fairly strong concentration is what you want. Ooh, it's like warm. Hopefully this doesn't like explode. Ah, jeez. Big shout out to my customer Robbie, who doesn't watch this channel at all, because he gave me all these lovely rags to use. And you can't really rebuild an engine without rags, is something I've come to realize. Okay, cylinder 1 actually doesn't really need it, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Cylinder 2, you can see it, right? Like the dark marks are scuffs, and that light stuff is aluminum. Same. Cylinder 3, mostly just scuffs. And then cylinder 4, whole lot going on. See that? That's what it looks like now. Ugh. Okay, well, I'm decided. I called around, and there's a shop that'll bore it and hone it for, I want to say they said like $250 or $275 for all 4, so we're just going to do that. Already got it off the stand, got it fully stripped. And then the things left to check, I need to check the head out, make sure it's okay. I need to check the oil pump internals, make sure they're okay. And I need to look at the transmission just because it's out. Make sure it's not leaking anywhere. And that should kind of be it. Should be a bore and new pistons and maybe a quick crank polish. Crazy. So look at that. That was no oil pressure. 20 psi up a hill at highway speed for like probably a full 30 seconds before this seized, maybe even longer. And all it really needs is a bore and pistons. That's crazy. Thank you so much for watching. This was the teardown and what am I gonna do episode. And there will be a reassembly, putting it back in. More things to come.